Good evening, watch lovers, and you know what time it is. Yes, it's 8 o'clock, and if I'm doing the intro, can only mean one thing. Currently, well, until about maybe an hour and a half ago, I was actually going to be on my own. Can you believe it? Spencer, unfortunately, is up to his eyeballs, I think, in cleaning equipment, getting the BQ HQ ready for this weekend. And I've managed, because, hold on. Kaylee then unfortunately had to also drop out for this evening because they've been so busy and a little bit short-staffed because everybody's been over at the new HQ getting everything ready. So, good evening, Dee.
Hello, Gavin.
How you doing? You all right?
I'm not too bad. I thought D-Time will show Gavin some love this evening.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank goodness you only live around the corner.
Yeah. Well, and because I like you.
Down.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all good,
and it's the final
it?
Countdown, isn't it, as well?
It's the... So. I'm going to save the singing.
It's the final countdown.
I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. As I said in the messages just now in the comments, summer feels like it's finally arrived, which is fantastic. Been out in the sunshine this weekend, Dee?
Yeah, I did do a barbecue. You know, I did find time for that. That's for sure. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So,
we're going to talk about it a bit later, but this show that's coming up this weekend has been keeping you a little bit busy. But we'll jump onto that in just a few moments because I've got some news, Dee.
Right. Okay.
There's some Did you notice what was all the chat this weekend?
Well, look, to be honest with you, I've been really busy. I have no idea what's going on in the watch world at the moment because I've been occupied with the show.
Well, I'd hardly call it the watch world, if I'm being really honest.
Right,
but in Gavin's watch world, of course, we had this little baby.
Okay,
just to drive all the watch enthusiasts who are into Swatch mad. Of course, we had the Moonflower MoonSwatch. So it seems Swatch are jumping on this every new moon. They're having a different iteration of moon. And this you can't see on that picture, but you can see if you're home. It's got little flowers on the gold handy, which is really rather cute. But even greater than that, James, if you can please perhaps cut to our wide camera. Ladies and gentlemen, I finally found something to display all my watches. Well, my MoonSwatches, which is these.
Have
a little look. What do you think, Dee? Have I done all right?
Well, I tell you what. This we could have used some of your magic at the BQ Watch Show, couldn't we, Gavin? I mean,
could indeed.
This is what you call a real MoonSwatch enthusiast display.
What do you think of the quality? So the idea was to have the swatches as if they're floating, and they do hang on the wall. It's made out of Perspex. I've made one box to hold on to the watches themselves, and one for the boxes. James, if you can just flick back to those for me on the wide. What do you think of like the quality of the idea?
Look, I love the idea. There's one thing that you need to do to complete.
Oh no! Don't tell me that.
Your display. I think we need to get some sort of you know what you get in the Rolls-Royce Wraith and Phantom, where you have the lights, the LED lighting, the stars.
The stars.
We could have that sort of projected at the back.
Not sure about that. But big shout out to the guys at Acrylic Designs in Watford. Thank you so much for. I went in there with a piece of paper and a pencil and said, kind of, this is what I want, sort of quite boxy. And so super excited about that. And actually, the door fronts actually lift. I'm not in a position to do it, but they slide up so you can get your watches in and out. And
lovely.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. I have to admit, I think you need to give me their contact details after the show. And we can customize a few cabinets for the brands that are going to be attending.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The other news that came out this weekend, Dee, is massive. And I was so hoping, obviously, tonight to throw this at Kaylee. But you're getting it.
So I'm going to get it now.
Well, I'm not sure Kaylee would have got it, to be fair, only because it's a generational thing. And I love it when I throw stuff up that everybody in the world knows. But Kaylee is just obviously just a little bit too young.
Okay.
But do you know what's coming this month?
Da, 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 right, yes, Indiana Jones, yes.
It's the new Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Brilliant.
He's about 95 years old or something stupid now.
Surprised he lived through the film.
But how cool is that? But what's really interesting, Dee, is it's watch related.
Right, okay.
Hamilton. He's wearing a Hamilton. They've actually, with the prop designer from Indiana Jones, they've designed a Hamilton watch that is period or reissued it, that's periods to the film for him to wear. And there it is.
Fantastic. Look at that. Yeah, very nice.
That's a lovely little piece, isn't it?
I can see that doing very well.
Who?
With that, Hamilton will do very well out of that.
They seem to do well with most of the things they do, don't they? But I was having a little look through. Here we go. Hamilton's Bolton watch will be seen on the big screen this year with their release of the summer blockbuster Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. The Bolton was first launched in America in 1941, the era of the original Indiana Jones movies, and was one of Hamilton's bestsellers at the time. The brand worked closely with Ben Wilkinson from the props team on the film to ensure the watch is seamlessly tied to the period of the costumes designed by Joanna Johnson. Film lovers can get a look with the quartz base watch is on sale. How much for?
That piece would probably be at 490.
675.
Okay.
It's probably got a bit of Indiana Jones premium
they've got
to it.
that retro vibe, haven't they? Even with the old logo there as well. They've gone with the heritage logo as well, which is nice.
But really, really nice looking. And does that excite you, Indiana Jones?
It does, actually. I mean, for me, in that era, I was a bit of a Goonies fan as well when I was young, 80s.
I watched it the other night.
Guys.
I watched it the other night.
Can't get enough of the Goonies,
If the Goonies is on television when I'm flicking, I have to stop and watch.
What was his name? Sloth? What was in person? Sloth. Chuck.
Yeah, and Chuck. I love it when they do the Where Are They Now?
Yeah.
And you see them all. Good evening, Russell. How are you doing? Indiana moves half as slow as Sean Connery did. I can't watch it. Oh no, you've really got to watch it. I really got a funny feeling that it's going to be
CGI a bit. This one, isn't it?
It's going to be good. Well, I think they've also done the whole de-aging him.
Oh, wow. So it's a bit like the Terminator films with Arnie.
Yeah, but I think the technology now is so good when they do it that it will look pretty damn good. But I'm really looking forward to that.
We'll do it. IMAX, Watford.
100%. Oh, they have got an IMAX
they have
Watford.
Got a
yeah,
Watford,
they absolutely have. Yeah, absolutely. So looking forward to that. One of the questions I had for Kaylee tonight, since you're going to have to answer all the questions I had prepared for her.
Okay.
Are you seeing any more of the new Rolex watch releases? You're a watch fan. Are you seeing any more coming through the ADs?
No is the answer. Well, look, we've just had Watches and Wonders, haven't we?
Yeah.
That they launched,
but they I know that there was they've started to come through.
The new Daytonas, the 60th anniversary, it's been pushed out to all of the range now, the stainless steel and the sort of precious metals as such. But I haven't seen anything. But we just don't know, in terms of, if you look at how the watch brands have been marketing their stuff, it's been very unorthodox recently, hasn't it?
Yeah.
As well, it's been sporadic. It's not all in one hit, to be fair. So who knows what's going to happen, Gavin?
Looking forward to seeing them coming through anyway. In terms of the watch market, I mean, things have definitely changed, haven't they, in terms of how things are going on?
Yeah,
From your side of things, what have you seen?
Because I recruit in the industry as such, I do hear a lot of sales associates complaining to me that sales are down. For example, I was speaking to a guy from JLC who's a senior sales brand ambassador in the UK, and JLC are dead in the UK in terms of sales at the moment. And from the pre-owned market, there's a hell of a lot of consignment going on at the moment.
Yeah,
I think consignment has suddenly become a big thing in the used market.
Yeah.
And obviously here at BQ Watches for the Watchmaster deal, I know hell of a lot of consignment going on. And I guess it eliminates risk for the...
On the dealer side.
For the dealer side,
yeah.
For sure. So,
well, hopefully it also gives the client a better return. I mean, ultimately.
Well, they get more...
But it's a giant shift.
It is, yeah. It's not easy to sell watches anymore, I think. But with the big brands, the hype models... There's always going to be buyers for those.
Yeah.
There's a great time to buy. There's some great deals out there at the moment.
Well, there's plenty of stock now that's coming back or is at list.
Yeah.
And if you want to avoid the wait, then the grey market is a great place to sort of pick up a few bits and pieces in terms of that kind of stuff.
The flippers have disappeared, haven't they, now?
Absolutely.
This is the biggest thing. It's left to the guys that really want the pieces.
Yeah.
But I've just got a feeling that it will return, not as it was, because it never will be the same as it was before, but I think we will return to what it was.
Russ has just commented, JLC need another Marvel superhero or the next Batman to wear one.
Yeah, well, look, with JLC, it's just the Reverso that really sells.
Yeah.
The problem is with JLC is that why would you go into the boutique and buy it when you can go to somewhere like BQ Watches and get a Reverso, 40% off the RRP?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the biggest problem.
I was chatting to the guys the other day. Obviously, I'm not going to keep banging on about Swatch, but I was chatting to the guys in store the other day who are all great guys, and they were talking about potentially, what could come. They never sort of leak too much, but I said, if you could do what AP have just done with the Spider-Man, the Marvel Spider-Man, which whether you like it or loathe it, it's. Let me see if I can get it up here. It's a talking point, isn't it? And every superstar is going to be wearing it. But if Swatch did a Spider-Man or a Batman or something along those lines, it would be. Let's see if we can get this up. It would be pretty.
Let's have a look.
Pretty special. Hold on a second. Marvel, Audemars, Spider-Man.
Look, I'm a big Marvel fan, to be honest with you. I love all the Iron Man, all this sort of stuff, you know. But, you know, Invector did something similar, and so did Citizen.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. So this is for the Marvel fanboys that have a lot more money than, let's say, the Marvel fanboys that buy your Citizen Eco Drive.
Yeah.
But very cool, I have to say.
I mean,
I wouldn't buy one, personally. I'd rather spend my money elsewhere.
Yeah.
What are we looking at RRP on this, Gavin?
215 grand, I think it is. I think it's 200. And they had a limited edition 1 of 1 black, this one here,
Right.
which sold for 6.2 million. Okay, so the black one here
sold a hell of a lot of money,
sold for 6.2 million. Now, if that was on a Swatch, by the way,
yeah,
and it was £109,
yeah,
I'd absolutely pile in for that.
of course, yeah.
Yeah. But at however much it is, yeah. Every superstar in the world is going to be wearing it. That's all I know.
Oh, yeah. You know, every basketball player, every footballer will have one.
Yeah, we'll never have a chance to
Well,
get
not
one.
many of them around, I would have thought. But
yeah. It's interesting. This weekend coming up is the 100th anniversary of Le Mans.
Oh, right. Yeah,
and I saw that, here we go, Rolex have done a special edition winner 2023, 100 years of Le Mans. So every winner of the races this weekend.
Fantastic, yeah. It's great to see Rolex doing something like this.
Yeah. Recognizing such a great event.
Yeah, 100%.
I was talking to the guy, Richard, who made the boxes for me today. He's actually going to Le Mans this weekend. And I said, yeah, no, I know all about it. It's the 100th anniversary. And he went, well, actually, not quite. And he says, I know in the watch world, you're quite sort of, on it with your dates and your anniversaries. He says, as a car enthusiast or the car enthusiasts, they don't recognize it as 100 years. It's not the 100th anniversary. It's the 100th anniversary of the first race, but there haven't been 100 races because there were years where it didn't take part. So it's like a, discord, arguments, fractures in the camp about actually how far into it they are.
But it's amazing that Rolex is all over this. People say, oh, Rolex don't market, they don't do this. Rolex spend more money on advertising than anyone else.
They do, don't they?
In the watch industry.
Just absolutely
You just don't
giant.
see it. They do it in different ways.
It's actually when you look at it and you think to yourself, everywhere I look is Rolex. And it's like
Wimbledon,
it's subliminal, isn't
Formula One, there's different connotations. They do a lot of semiology in the advertising world. It's advertising without letting people know that you're advertising to them. Very clever.
Watches 63 asks, how will grey dealers get stock if there are no flippers to supply them? Is this the end of the grey market as we know it?
I think, like in every industry sector, if you look at the car industry, there's always going to be a market for pre-owned, no matter what it is.
The grey market in watches has been around for years before the flippers were around. It's not going anywhere,
let's be honest.
Years before the flippers were around.
Yeah.
And it just evolves into sort of a new hybrid. Basically.
The flippers saw an opportunity to make money, and that's what happened. But I think, let's be honest, Rolex, nothing's going to happen with Rolex and AP and Patek. Let's be honest. It's not be under any illusion. These guys are very ahead of the game. They probably know what's going to happen before anyone knows,
What I'd love to see what goes on behind the scenes with their CPO.
Well, look, you know, Rolex are run by grade A international lawyers. Let's not forget.
Yeah.
There's these guys, when they've probably got forensic team and AI behind before they make their decisions, they probably run different combinations of whatever they're going to do. And even if they do make a mistake, they are able to manipulate that mistake and make it a hit.
Yeah.
Somehow, if only we could do the same.
I would just be interested to see. I know we jumped all over it when Rolex announced their CPO program, and we looked at the prices they were selling their watches for and compared them with sort of BQs and other grey market dealers and thought, oh my god,
it's not surprising for me this because being an avid car enthusiast and stuff like that, if you're buying a Porsche from an authorized dealer
like Tom Hartley or someone,
you're going to have to pay the privilege of doing that. It comes with pros and cons, but if you're someone like me who's a watch enthusiast, I'd probably go to someone in the grey for the pieces that I can't get.
Yeah.
You know, that's how it is, isn't it? At the end of the day, I always look for the best deal.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. But make sure, you buy from a reputable dealer.
But that's because you know what you're doing in principle, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people, if you're new to the game, then I can see how you'd be more reassured going to the authorized dealer. I mean, look, I did a massive recruitment campaign for the big, authorized dealers, and a hell of a lot of people have come through. The problem is it's been delayed. The reason why it's been delayed, and I think I can talk about this, is that the UK is really struggling for candidates. Yeah. It's very much a candidate-driven market, and the CPO is going to be delayed because we just don't have the caliber over here to bring them in. That's the honest truth. So it's going to take a lot longer to progress.
But I mean, I get sent all the emails because I must have signed up at some point to all of the websites. They are picking up some stock. I mean, where the stock comes from, I don't know if it's distributed out from head office.
Well, look, they're basically they've got an amazing portfolio of clients, the ADs, and they're probably going to give some more incentives for their existing clientele to trade in with them. But let's not forget, for the last 10, 15 years, most of the market has been dealing in the pre-owned.
Yeah.
Because once upon a time, if you go back 5-6 years ago, you probably get Rolexes cheaper than the AD. Yes. Cheaper than the RRP.
Yeah.
So it made sense. This is why the grey market, what I like to call it, the used specialist boutiques, will be around for a long time.
Yep.
They're not going anywhere.
Can I ask you what your thoughts are on Tag Monacos?
I love Tag Monaco.
Did you see the release a couple of weeks ago? Yeah.
Was based on the Tag Monaco.
It was.
See, in my office, I love the old Heuer because they were more, if anything, back in the day, they were even more high regard than even Rolex back in the day, in the 60s, 70s.
Did you see the release last week of these new ones?
They look nice. They're very cool.
Yeah, this is the only tag skeletonized Monacos, aren't they?
These are the only tags, really, tag Heuers that I would say your money, if you're looking at them from an investment point of view, I wouldn't say your money's safe, but you're going to get probably what you paid for it.
Yeah,
So
I love the colorway on that because it's
really cool. I like that.
It represents is it Patronus or it's the racing team of
they're race car orientated. All of the Tag Monacos, they're very motorsport orientated and
absolutely lovely.
They're expensive though. They're not cheap.
Yeah, no, I think I've probably got it written down here how much these things are.
About 11, 12K.
Yeah, 12 grand.
Yeah,
but nice little watches. I actually put one on my wrist a couple of weeks ago because I've always thought about it, and I put it on and it just didn't look right in the boutique when I sat down and looked at it and put it on my wrist.
One of my first luxury watches was a Rum Reg Chrono Tag Monaco. really bad watch, actually, to be fair. It wasn't that great. It's not like, I didn't have a lot of money at the time. I think it cost me about £1,500, but I used to love that watch back then.
It's amazing how they are synonymous, though, with motor racing, because it used to be cigarettes, didn't it? Cigarette brands.
Yes.
But they launched this one for the 80th Monaco Grand Prix last week. But, I'll be interested. I love the black and, this one. That for me is good. But it looks silly on my wrist.
Mm-hmm. Do you think was that a ceramic one? Was it that one?
Yeah.
Or was it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just looking down at it, looked a little bit on the funny side. Are you a Succession fan?
No.
You ever watched it?
No.
No.
So I can't be a fan of it.
I'm going to ask the audience there. Is anybody here into Succession? Because in my circle of friends, all I've heard for the past week is, oh my God, Succession. Did you see the finale? It's the most incredible show. I've tried to watch this show 3 times.
Right, okay.
With Victoria. We're settled down to watch it.
Is it on Netflix, Amazon?
It's actually on Sky Atlantic. And we've struggled to get past 2 episodes thinking it's the biggest pile of poop I've ever seen. And we've gone at it this week. We're on like episode 8, still thinking it's an absolute load of rubbish. But what has come to light is they've got a massive thing of watches in Succession because obviously they're a very sort of wealthy family. And there's a whole bunch of sort of characters, and it's now like watch spotting. Yeah, apparently that's like a £1 million or a Richard Mille that he was wearing in the season.
I've had no time to watch anything, to be honest with you, with this show coming up.
Nicola, don't say what happened, please. I've no idea what happened. My idea was actually to go to the last season, watch the last 3 episodes and just be done with it because I just can't get into it. But yeah, a lot of IWCs represented in the show.
Well, because there's timepieces in there, maybe I'll have to give it a little...
That's beautiful. I do love that.
Nice.
I do love that. He's a complete dick of a character. Sorry, he's a very good actor. But... yeah, his name is Kendall Roy. One of them wears a Pepsi. Yeah, interesting. Just wondered if.
So, what's the nature of the show? What's it? You have to tell
me.
The
Murdochs. You know the Murdoch family.
Yeah. Okay.
Basically, it's not the Murdochs. People say it's based upon the Murdochs, but it's a family that are in media.
Right.
And
okay.
The old man is he's the Robert Murdoch or the Rupert Murdoch or whatever his name is. Okay. And yeah, it's the succession who's going to sort of take the title, it feels like, as he sort of became ill. Okay. But yeah, not sure I can get into it. Tell me if I'm wrong. No idea. What I would say is don't bother watching it.
Right.
Don't get yourself into it. Let's go on to BQ, shall we?
Yeah.
The BQ Watch Show. James, do you want to flick up our little screen here? So let's go through some of the brands that are going to be appearing at this weekend. What can people expect from the show?
Well, maybe I'll go through a bit of the floor plan, the planogram of the show. So since we're on Chapek here, so on the second floor, we've got the luxury quarter. So this room will have timepieces that start at 250,000 and go down to 40,000 pounds sterling for 2023. And in that room, you've got brands like Chapek, as you can see here, like Artisan. Some of the dials are really, really cool. And we're going to have some new releases at the show as well that we're going to unveil. We've also got brands like Cyrus as well.
We'll come to those in a second. Let's just talk about Chapek for a second, because hold on a second, 40 grand up to $250,000.
Yes.
And yet I just mentioned the word micro.
No, listen, we really shouldn't really mention they're independent luxury brands. Yeah, they could afford, to set themselves up at Watches and Wonders. They spent probably 350,000 Swiss francs for that setup alone. Chapek, they've got a great history. They are a bit of a rebirth of a brand, but going back to their early history, Chapek, the actual watchmaker was Polish. Believe it or not.
This is a beautiful watch.
Oh, it's fantastic. They're a little bit like the Holy Trinity in terms of the levels of finishing of the dials and the movements as such. But in terms of their history, they've got a rich history that Chapek was doing watches with Patek, who went on to become Patek Philippe. Right. So there is a real story behind the brand. But what Xavier is doing with the brand now is immense. If we go back, say 3-4 years ago, they were very much an unknown entity in the UK. Now you'd probably need to wait 1 or 2 years to be able to get your piece.
Oh, it's that long?
Yeah, especially some of the pieces that they've got, like that piece, it's very limited. You wouldn't be able to pick up anything of that nature with this brand. Gotcha. But there are other pieces that are available, and you could potentially cut a deal at the show with the Devoy Group, and they could potentially set something up for you.
Now, we're expecting so far from the registered people that I had a little look today on the back end, there's circa 600 people coming down to the show.
I think we over-promoted it. I mean, I've been literally...
Yeah. You've been a very busy boy on this,
I've been promoting it every day, the show, and I've had a lot of inquiries. Look, to be honest with you, we could have got another 40 brands off the back of exhibitors talking to exhibitors. They all want to attend. And I put it this way, be careful what you wish for sometimes, Spencer.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be like Wembley.
Yeah. And I know, I mean, it's not a joke when I say last week that Spencer was very busy sort of getting it ready, and that's the reason my car's show.
Really, honestly, he's got an army of people working there. The guy is a civil engineer, a project manager, an architect. He's now becoming interior designer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's doing everything. The guy's, he's very talented. You never think he's a watch dealer.
Yeah, there are so many strings to his bow. And by the way, guys, when you come down to the BQ Watch, if you're coming down this weekend, when you take everything in, and it is looking incredible, I have to say, when you take it all in, I'm telling you, and I kid you not, Spencer's had a hand in everything. Every piece of design of the furniture.
Everything.
Of where the safes sit, of the flooring, of the cupboards, of the carpentry.
I was so impressed, even with his cabinets.
His cabinets, yeah.
He constructed a case for them because one of them got smashed up in a van when he was moving them around
when he
for the exhibition. And I was impressed. It was like watching something from Transformers.
Yeah.
When he lifts one, it's like a magic trick. Like, honestly, the guy, I don't know what Spencer used to do before, but I'm assuming he was...
he started off in jewellery repairs.
Right, okay. Yeah. So he should have been some sort of... some sort of project designer, product designer, because he's
learned on the job from basically doing showrooms and other bits and pieces. Let's talk about the next brand, which is Cyrus.
Yeah, Cyrus, very interesting brand. And that timepiece you can see there, it's a double chrono. So it's got 2 pushers so you could probably race, you could time two people sprinting or 2 people having a race there.
Oh, wow. On the double timers?
Yes, double chrono. There's got 2 hands there.
It's a beautiful looking watch.
They're very cool. A lot of potential, this brand. And I think we're potentially having a new RM rival being created here.
Now, you did say that, didn't you? Yeah. Before we came on air, we were just having a quick chat about the brands. This is limited to 38 pieces.
And the price range of these go up. They start, I think there's got pieces that cost 200,000 and they go down to around 15-20k.
So starting at 15-20 up to 400.
Yeah.
I like the way you always start at the top and come back.
Because it's always more impressive. Because let me say something about the marketing with RM.
Yeah.
It's always with these brands, the reason why they always talk about the most expensive pieces, because it's like showing off your signature piece.
Yeah.
And people associate luxury with the price of your timepiece. So RM, when you look back, if you go back when they first started, I was talking to someone who actually distributes RM in the UK. All their adverts would show the price of the timepiece in the advert.
Absolutely stunning. Let's have a look at the collections. So these, I mean...
See, look at that one there. This with one? The one on that. Look at that. That's a beautiful sapphire crystal case as well.
James, there's no way of punching those onto the screen, is there at all? It's on... if you go to BQ Watches events, and then there's a list of the exhibitors. Yeah,
if you go to the Devoy group and you scroll down, you'll see Cyrus there as well.
Yeah, have a look, see if we can get these on screen. So, I mean, what is this? This is a skeleton tourbillon.
Yeah, so it's got like a hidden tourbillon on in there, if you have a look through the skeletonized case. I mean, these will be at the show, but they'll be in exhibition displays, and you can sit with, Andy at the Devoy group and he'll show you some of the timepieces. But I'll be honest with you, when you get this on the wrist and you play around with them, these double chronos, it's just amazing how it's got that double chrono feature, and it's a tourbillon as well. And the fit and finish on these are amazing.
Yeah, absolutely stunning. Beautiful. Let's move on to the next brand. The next brand, one we know well.
Yeah, we know very well. Zero West. We were talking to Andrew the other day as well. Lovely guys there at Zero West. And, they've just got such a passion for their brand. And being a bit of an aviation geek myself, going to the RAF Museum in Colindale, I do releases with Aviate and stuff like that. I love what they do. I could see them having a boutique at RAF Museum, don't you think?
Oh, 100%.
With the aviation jackets. I love all that.
Also, great pricing point as well. If you love your watches, I mean, this is the new one, the FS1, the Flying Scotsman, which I thought was gorgeous. Russell did a fabulous film.
Yeah, it was he did a great video. I love that with the drone. I thought that was very creative, Russell.
Really, really
cool. Mate. Good video.
Looking forward to having them there. There's I'll tell you who I'm looking forward to seeing.
Yes, Duckworth.
My friend Neil Duckworth. Your friend Neil Duckworth.
Yeah,
in fact,
it's good man.
I'm wearing my Duckworth Prestex today.
We love Neil.
Super
love
happy. One of my favourite watches. I absolutely love this.
Great story as well behind the brand.
Such a fantastic story, isn't it?
I remember Neil many, many years at World Time. He was exhibiting there, and he's always got time to talk to you and share his love. I think he was the first guy to bring Tag Heuer.
That's right.
To the UK.
That's what got my attention when I saw him at your show. Yeah. And I went around chatting. And in fact, I bought this at your last show.
Fantastic. They're in the Watches of Switzerland now.
Yes, they are
doing very well.
Yeah. And that's what it sort of fills me with joy with these brands where you get to meet the people and you think how hard they work
Yes.
to sort of get their watches, get their collections out there. Then all of a sudden, they get picked up. I actually ordered the Coronation as well. I've ordered this one in the salmon dial.
Salmon dial, beautiful.
Yeah. Which I'm super happy to be having.
I love that look. It's got a bit of a breguet look about it, doesn't it, as well?
Yeah.
I quite like that.
I just love
very elegant.
Yeah, very, very smart. I love the italics as well on the dial. Just beautiful watches. Guys, if you're looking to find all these brands, by the way, do flip over to the BQ website under events, and you'll see all the brands that are displaying on the weekend. Yeah, but looking forward to seeing Neil and hearing about his sort of continued.
He's got other brands as well. He's
success.
got a lot of other brands.
But this one's his.
Yeah,
isn't it specifically?
Yeah.
Here's a great talking point.
Yeah, we got to love. I want to give a big shout out to Richard, Studio
Underdog. If you haven't heard of Studio Underdogs, then
you've been living under a stone for a long time.
Absolutely, certainly since lockdown, because this young man has done wonders, hasn't he? With his watches.
Such a lovely guy, honest, transparent, very creative, and simple ideas sometimes create the best watches.
Yeah,
he's not overcomplicating things.
So
great ideology behind the brand, I have to say. It's very refreshing, and I would say very fun. He's got the fun factor.
Yeah, I mean, these aren't overly complicated watches. Well,
they're a Seagull manual wind movement.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're never going to have a problem with that movement, because if there's ever an issue, it can be replaced. It doesn't need to be serviced. But it's a manual wind, and it's actually quite attractive. These Seagull manual movements. They're they are probably like the ETA of the Asian market.
Yeah,
Seagull movers. They're affordable, they're reliable, and they look great.
So I know that Richard opened up a window last week to basically to sell his watches. I did buy one.
Oh wow!
Yeah, no, I did.
I think Simon bought one as well.
Did he
as well? Yeah.
Yeah. So I bought one. And my delivery date is January 2024.
Wow.
And I thought to myself, that's really good. I wonder how many sold. And then he announced that he sold
out
3,500 watches, which in monetary terms, if I did my math, is 1.75 million quid raised.
£2 million sterling.
Yeah.
Basically.
To basically pre-order the watches. Yeah. What an incredible success story.
Great success story. He probably loves the fact that he was in lockdown.
Yeah.
He was like, he hit the jackpot during COVID. Richard did, with his creative thinking. That's for sure.
And super nice guy. I've seen him a couple of shows.
He's lovely. He's going to be there. We spoke today, actually. I spoke with Richard today. We're just finalising everything in terms of when he's getting there, what time, and so on. So, lovely guy.
What I also love about all of these brands is that the big channels, whether it's Hodinkee, Watch Pro, they all get behind these brands and get them into the public spotlight, which really does give them a good chance.
I'll be honest with you. I'm a big. If I go back 10 years ago, I was like everyone else. You could call me a watch snob, because I was educated in watches, for example. And as the years go on and you physically touch these timepieces, you hold them, you put them on your wrist, you realise, you know what, I can actually enjoy my money and have a lot more add-on pieces to add to the collection. And that's why I work with Watch Pro. They're the principal sponsor of the BQ Watch Show. And going down to the planogram of the show, the ground floor is the micro brand Quarter.
Yeah.
So we're going to have Studio Underdog, Duckworth Prestex, Bavarian Watches, Isotope, Fine Watches of Berlin will be on the ground floor. And you'll be able to enjoy the likes of Studio Underdog and Duckworth on the ground floor.
Yeah, absolutely stunning.
I love the colours. Beautiful.
I have to say, I like the colourways as well. And you know what? Funny enough, I went for the watermelon just because I feel like that feels at the moment like the icon amongst. But equally, I love the mint chocolate chip. I thought this is a great colourway as well.
Pistachio as well.
Just really, really nice and really sort of simple. Let's move on to the next one. Boulder.
Boulder.
Another one I love.
These guys are solid. They do solid dive watches with lovely colours, creativity. Very solid dive watch. This is for your dive watch enthusiasts. But they're doing very well across Europe. They're in a lot of bricks and mortar stores now as well. It won't be long until you see them in the likes of Ernest Jones, H. Samuels, Watches of Switzerland. They're one of those brands that are, just put it this way, extremely, extremely good value for money.
Yeah, and I like this on the middle of the dial here. They've got almost like a little sort of I don't know, was it a little devil, a little imp?
Yeah, I mean, they do a lot of stuff.
If you just scroll down, James, if you scroll down on there you go, just there. Yeah. Is it a Pokemon? Yeah, that's a Pokemon watch. Oh, do you know what it does say there? Combining a signature adventure style with the enthusiasm of beloved Pokemon from Singapore. God, you're even geekier than I am, James. Get your mic on, James. It's a Charizard. Yeah, very, very cool.
They made a few watches for Well Time. So we've got the Divers Facebook group have got Boulder watches. They've got some really, really cool stuff. Boulder, I'm very impressed with them.
What I can't see. What's the pricing point of these?
They range from like £490 or up to about £1,500 sterling.
Jeez, it's going to be an expensive weekend for me, isn't it?
Yeah. These are great value for money.
Yes. When you see me on Saturday, right, just keep putting your hand on my shoulder and go, Gavin, stop.
Yeah.
Gavin, stop. Can I tell you a quick funny story?
Go on.
So I was up, Spencer actually set me on a mission a couple of weeks ago. We got a friend's birthday, and Spencer said to me, what would be great is if we could get all of these MoonSwatches.
Right.
Because this chap is never going to be a chap who's ever going to queue for the watches. Gav, you seem to have a bit of spare time at the moment, and you seem to know everybody. I'll give you a mission. Can you accumulate all the watches in 1 week? So I spent a week going around the swatch stores of London, queuing in the morning, seeing what I could do.
Yep.
I managed to pull in 10 of the 11.
So they're more accessible now, would you say?
They're far more accessible. I managed to pick up 10. Actually, I've picked up a few more than 10, but 10 of the 11. And whilst I was queuing one day, I'm flicking through as I did, sitting there for an hour and a half waiting for the doors to open, hoping to get a Neptune, and flicking through my Instagram, and up came Casio's 40th anniversary. And all the groups on my Facebook are saying, you've got a queue online and all the rest of it, and they'll be queuing in Carnaby Street. I walked to Carnaby Street. There was no one. I didn't even want it. But I managed to pick myself up.
Fair play.
A 40th anniversary. So D.
Amazing.
This weekend, keep putting your hands on my shoulder. And guys, if you're at the show, keep putting your hands on my shoulder and saying, Gavin, calm down. You don't need to
all my exhibitors, you have a customer.
Yeah. Hit up Gav.
He's got more money than sense.
Clearly. Just stop me, D. Stop me. Because there's so many beautiful watches here. And only 2 wrists.
You see, if you're a Seiko Prospects fanboy,
yes,
look no further than Boulder.
Yeah.
They've got some great alternatives out there. Some of them are Swiss movements as well. A lot of them are Selitas W200s as well.
Yeah, really, really lovely. Next up, we've got Atawak. Not a brand I'm really aware of at all.
Well, Atawak, I'm actually wearing that. I am actually a brand ambassador of the brand.
Yeah.
And Atawak, strange one really. They came to the channel and I reviewed the watch and I was like, Jesus Christ. They undersold it to me how good it was, from the packaging. So basically, they basically get a base movement and they basically put a modular mechanism on top to do a 3 hour.
James, just scroll down to the next video if you can. Just put it up on screen. There's a moving video. Yeah, leave that on the screen. Sorry, you were saying, D?
Yeah, so it's basically a module mechanism on top of another movement in order for them to be able to produce basically an Heuer style watch, basically. And this brings you this sort of complication at an affordable price. If you think around 2,000, so if you're looking at 2,000 US dollars, you're looking at about £1,700 sterling, in terms of today's currency for 2023.
I'd be looking at that going, how do I tell the time?
It's actually quite simple because you've got the hour.
Yeah.
And then that's the minute track below. It's actually easier to tell the time than your conventional.
Because it does what it says on the tin.
It's very easy to read the time. And these really sell out big time. The amount of interest that I've had in the brand is unbelievable. This model won't be at the show. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's a new release. It's coming out in July.
Right.
But I will be reviewing it and launching it on the channel.
Yeah. Callum Conroy says, Gavin, not sure if you've heard of the Sega watches, Z series. Really cool watch. Richard Mille-esque, but for a few £100, can't complain.
Sega are there. I'm actually bringing them to the show.
There you go.
Sega will be there. We've got the whole range is going to be there. We've got the whole new ceramic range as well. We've got that model, that ceramic, the Blue Planet. It's actually got a 24-karat gold dial. Okay. For the first time. So they're going a little bit more at market.
Pop that up, James.
It's about £2,500 sterling, that piece. It's all ceramic. It's a GBHG winner as well. An Asian brand that beat the Swiss.
Wow.
We've never had an Asian brand go in there and beat the Swiss at their own game. And Seeger make a point of advertising that on it.
So what are you, a brand ambassador to them?
I'm brand ambassador to Atawak.
Yeah.
I'm not a sales agent of them yet.
Right.
But I am looking to go down that avenue. But with Seeger Design, I am a UK distributor of that. And I had a task of naming the new one of the new models as well.
Did you?
Been working with the marketing
I've got to
team.
tell you, I know Spencer works really hard, and I know he does. But you are right up there behind him. You do so many things,
I just don't do building construction work like Spencer.
No, but seriously, aside from putting together this BQ show and everything else, you got fingers in lots of pies, haven't you?
Yes. We've got a lot going on with the new premises in the UAE.
How do you... Sorry, stop. You've got new premises in UAE as well?
Yes. So I've been really honestly, I'm losing track of time. I had like loads of the phone was ringing, and I actually had my brain crashed. It was like, it's over. Yeah. I had a brain crash. I forgot what I was talking about with everyone. Yeah. So I had to just stop. So
Venezianico.
This is a brand that came into me in the channel for review. And they're an Italian brand.
So that's right. They're based out of Venice.
Based out of Venice. Yeah. And what's unique about them is that they use a lot of different materials. So their bezels are using tungsten, for example, in some of their divers, which is more even hard wearing than ceramic, for example. But very elegant, the Canova bracelet. What really caught my interest, they've got an amazing team, Venetianico, in Italy. They're very much considered the golden boys of Italy.
So I saw an article, actually. They're like listed in Forbes magazine. 30 under 30.
Yeah, rich list because of Venetianico.
Yeah.
They're in 95 bricks and mortar stores across Europe. I'm representing them in the UK, and before you know it, you'll see them in every authorized dealer in the UK.
Two brothers, one passion. Oh my God, they literally look about 16 years old.
They're very cool, stylish guys.
I bet they are.
I wish I had their
money.
Dynamic. No, I think they literally they started with a Kickstarter campaign.
Right, okay.
It was a Kickstarter campaign, and they turned it into a 10 million plus business of sales.
And they're doing 561 euros.
Their prices are that sort of price range, and they go up to £1,500.
Do you want to pop some up on the screen, James? Oh, you have. Fantastic. I'm not looking in that direction.
They've got this new Norade GMT. They've got a Swiss-made movement that has been specially made for Venetianico.
Here we go.
This piece, I will be unveiling this at the show. I've also got a new Norade diver that they've got. You see what's unique about this bezel? The first time a ceramic bezel has been combined with tungsten.
Right.
There's nothing else like that in the watch industry.
Very Gerald Genta-esque bracelets, I noticed there.
Yeah, it's a Canova bracelet. So they're giving it that Italian flair. Everything from the packaging and everything, you think that you're opening up some sort of luxury designing gear.
I've just realised that you're now my best friend. I can get me some of these watches?
Of course. Yeah. Of course. Whatever you want. Of course. We have the Morelli brothers. Won't be at the show, but they will be with me in September.
Right.
I'm flying out to Venice to open up a brand new showroom, luxury marble everywhere. But they're in 95 bricks and mortar stores.
Amazing.
And expect to see them in all the authorized dealers in September, associated with my firm, A to Z of Watches.
Beautiful. I mean, it's almost like got a little bit of Vacheron feel to it as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, look, they take a little bit of inspiration, from Venice.
Gorgeous dial, actually.
Yeah, lovely dial. You'll be surprised, guys, how good they are.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, they're like a dressy dive watch.
And the movements in these?
Sellita SW200, and they've got these new Swiss-made movements, Solprod movements as well in their newer range. I'm introducing the new Norade, which has been slimmed out as well. A lot thinner.
Right.
Very, very beautifully made and executed.
Oh, they've got accessories as well. Look at this. Very nice.
All the packaging is beautifully done.
It really is, isn't it? Look at those. Look at that. Yeah, Canava bracelet. Really lovely. Beautiful. You'll
be able to see them all at the show, guys.
Next up, I love this brand.
These are cool. Another brand from Italy.
Out of Order.
I love these guys. They're like a rebel watch brand.
Yeah.
Right. So one thing that we had originally planned with this brand, Out of Order, was if we had the BQ bar set up properly, they were going to come down, because these watches are like cocktail dials. So you name the cocktail, so they'll put the watch in the cocktail, and that dial comes up. if that makes sense. Yeah,
I mean,
very
once
cool.
again, look at the pricing point of these.
Yeah.
This,
Great value for money. These will have NH35 movements. Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Great micro brand movement. It's just a steady ship, but they're doing really well. If it's that colorway, you know, they've got a GMT. They're using the new Seiko NH34 movement as well.
Right.
They're doing. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I think Studio Underdog with that colorway and these guys, what they're doing, it's all about vibrant, dynamic colors. I love that.
Yeah.
Something a bit different. It's very much a holiday vibe about it, isn't it? You just get that
just
vibe.
really gorgeous. Yeah.
Love to wear that with my salmon shorts.
I don't want to see your legs, Steve. Please don't wear those on Sunday.
It's going to be 26
Please
degrees
don't
apparently.
Wear them. Yeah, they've got air conditioning.
You know.
Yeah, no, they've definitely got air conditioning. Let's have a look. What else have we got? Oh, I think that was kind of it for our little run through. I'll come back to that again. 6.3 million, D, look.
That's a lot of money, isn't it?
Do you think?
Yeah.
It's Spider-Man,
Not for you, though, is it? Not for you, Gavin.
Spider-Man, isn't it? I wouldn't be buying a watch at 6.3. I wouldn't be buying anything at 6.3 million. Maybe a yacht. Oh, that was a question someone asked me the other day. What would you rather have? A yacht, given if money was no object.
Right, okay.
A yacht or a private jet?
Well, look, I'm not good with G-forces and all that. So I'd probably have the yacht and never move it.
Really?
Leave it in the marina.
You just leave it in the marina?
Yeah. That's what in Cyprus, we know loads of family members that have got yachts, you know, just sitting in the marina.
You're so connected.
You just go there and they do a barbecue in the marina. It's probably not great that it's safe to do it there, but, you know. Look, it's hard. I don't know. That's a tough question because they all come with pros and cons, don't they?
It's very simple for me.
Jets.
100% a jet because you walk up, you walk on, you go, you're done. No baggage issue. Just easy.
That's true.
And also you have a pilot and what have you, but the pilot probably flies for other people as well, I would imagine. And you can rent your plane out. A boat, staff.
Not in the UK.
Costs.
But if I'm abroad in the Med.
The costs of running a boat are absolutely ginormous on a super yacht. Hold on a second. Excuse me, I'm just going to answer this. Hi, Gary. How are you? I'm just doing a live show. Would you like to say hello to everybody? Bye. Who phones? Who doesn't know that I'm doing a live stream?
That's an error on your behalf, mate. You should be on flight mode, right?
8 and 9. You know why? Because I'm not using it for the.
Oh, right. Okay. Fair enough.
Thing. Yeah, I'll just turn that off. That was my friend Gary. Everybody.
Thought it'd be Spence talking about the show. No,
he's too busy. I can't imagine what he's doing right now.
He's probably doing interior designing. He's probably doing some sort of CGI stuff. Honestly, I saw some CGI stuff as well that he was playing around with.
Was he?
He's talented bloke, isn't he?
Yeah. Do you also get calls from him about 11 o'clock at night?
Yes.
He's got this thing. He's like, he stops work. I got a call from him, I think, 11 o'clock on Friday night. Like it was 4 in the afternoon. Hi, Gav, you all right? Yeah.
That's the time he can finish his work.
He's literally in bed.
Let me guess, he does the steam room after.
Yeah.
He cuts you off.
He probably does. He's probably sitting there. Now, we've got no Kaylee this week, but it's Kaylee's Celebrity Watch. So
right, okay.
You're going to have to take part in it.
Okay.
A few watches here. Picked out a few watches. I still want this, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, look, I like it. If I was offered one, I'd buy one, but I'm probably never going to be offered one.
£9,450. What do you think this is now, currently in the grey market? It's actually, I was actually quite surprised when I saw this.
What are we looking at? 19? 20?
Spencer wasn't
They've
offering.
dropped
Spencer
big time,
paid
though, haven't they?
35. Spencer, well, he obviously got it out the door pretty quickly. But yeah, 9,450, and the price now today, James, is
it's close.
18k.
I thought it'd be a bit.
And if it's 18k, it probably means you'd be paying a little bit less somewhere along the line. But yeah, I think
the market's recorrected itself. It really has. Within reason now, because the prices were false prices, in my opinion.
Yeah, Greggy boy, 18,500. That's because your watches of desire, Greggy. Little plug for you there. Okay, so this is the 18-carat yellow gold Rolex Daytona factory set with 32 baguette cuts orange sapphires. I have not seen this anywhere, but this is on a singer from The Weekend, I think he's called.
Saturday something, isn't he?
Is that
Stars? I can't remember.
You're younger than me, you'll know they are. But anyway, it's very cool, and he's rocking that watch, and the cost of it is, well, we don't know the cost because it's not listed, it's unlisted.
This is the ones that they don't have in the brochure, right?
Yeah, it's non-brochure. So I think the price of this in the grey last traded was, James,
300k.
Sorry, let me just pick myself up off the floor. 300 grand. 300,000 pounds. Okay, another mental watch.
Was this Mayweather or something?
18K white gold Jake & Co.
Glasses,
Bugatti Chiron Tourbillon factory set with 459 baguette cut diamonds around the watch on a yellow rubber strap. And I have no idea who's wearing it.
What colour's your Bugatti, mate, Gavin?
Yeah, no, it's
the
not.
iced out Bugatti?
No.
So what's this, like a £300,000? Might be more than that. What's this? Is the Jacob and Co one? It's like
it's the Chiron. Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
All the pistons move.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. Let's be honest, it is a cool piece.
I've actually Stay Safe Electrical saying the retail on that watch was 87,750. On that.
That was the retail, but what is it going on the grey?
No. The retail on the Daytona.
Oh right, so you got it wrong, yeah.
Yeah. No. The retail on Daytona is trading at 300.
Fair enough. Yeah.
James, how much is this in the grey? 700. Current market value £750,000.
Spencer got any of these in his inventory?
Nope, never seen one. I saw one. I said,
Spencer,
in the watch
if he
show
gets
in
one
Vegas.
in, I'll do the consignment commission on that
I'm sure
one.
You will. Right, White Quartz TPT, Richard Mille 3503 with the butterfly rotor. Cost 210 grand. Is that DJ Khaled?
Yep, DJ Khaled.
I've never seen him before in my life. I just know that's DJ Khaled.
When you hear his music, what he contributes is
James,
another
that's
one.
What? Oh, he's the god of sneakers. Yes,
he's a remix specialist.
Yeah, £210,000 and sells for
$500,000.
I think you're going to be spot on. 550k.
Yep.
Current market value. Incredible. Wowza. Let's do then next the questions from Instagram. These are all aimed at Kaylee and Spencer.
Right. Okay.
So just do your best to answer
I'll
what you can.
pretend to be Spencer then. Yep.
Buying watches, do people only care about fashion and investments but not horology? What would you say about that?
Well, this is quite a generic, broad question, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, how
do you answer that?
How do you answer that, to be fair? But I can answer from my point of view.
Go from you're the man answering the questions.
I do care about horology, to be honest with you. And I look, it depends how much money you're spending. If you're buying, say like you're coming to the show and you're spending £1,000, £2,000, you're not really buying it for investment. You're buying it because you like the piece and it's an add-on watch to your collection.
Yeah.
But I think
it must actually be probably because you like the dial and the style.
Yeah. It
can't be the horology because they're all...
Yeah, but you'd be surprised. Like Chapek, they're a horological piece. If you
but they're not £2,000.
They're not £2,000. No. A lot of people buy them because they're in at the moment. So I guess it is a bit of a fashion thing.
Yeah,
it's what's in and what isn't.
Yeah,
what is it in this month may not be in next month. Especially with the smaller brands, they have a shorter lifespan in terms of how in they are.
I found that if I wind back the show 18 months, every single question, every single week was, what's the best investment piece? How much is this going to be worth next week? And now nobody even cares because all those people have gone. Yeah. They've all disappeared back to wherever they came from. And really, there are still investments to be made in watches on the right pieces.
Yeah.
But now it's having maybe the understanding to know what actually is the right investment rather than...
like the FB Jeans, these types of brands, there's lots of investments to be made there.
I'm looking forward to their boutique opening, actually. I walked past...
the Bond Street one, yeah?
Yeah, just off Bond Street, yeah. Looking forward to that one. Next question for you, Kaylee, is SD43 or AP Offshore 15710 ST White?
I'm not sure about the SD43, that model. Which one is that?
C-Dweller 43.
Oh, the C-Dweller. Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was about an AP. I'll go for the C-Dweller.
Me too.
43.
Next question. Have OP41 red and yellow come down in price? If they drop further?
They have come down in price.
They have, haven't they?
Dramatically.
Yeah.
Realistically, because I think it was a false...
Yeah.
Out of all the models, I knew those would fall.
Yeah.
Because it was just basically just the hype.
Yeah,
around the colours. Yeah.
I'd also say that I think the way the market is changing with consignment means that if dealers are not necessarily bidding low prices for watches, they're just not bidding perhaps for them, and people are consigning, then really it's down to the actual owner of the watch to sort of set the market.
Yes, yes.
So I think like the fluctuations aren't going to be so big. You'll just go, it's like looking at eBay and say, well, where's the latest watch selling? It's there, I'll sell it roughly there.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I think is going to make things sort of slightly simpler for everybody. Next question. This is from Colette. Colette works at BQ Watches.
Mm-hmm.
She asks a question every week. Rewind 10 years. What watch would you all purchase as an investment?
Oh, 10 years. Okay, it's quite easy for me. Just get a Nautilus when they were cheap 10 years ago. They were a lot cheaper.
Well, we have the benefit of hindsight, because I would say just buy a Richard Mille 10 years ago, which I still wouldn't buy one.
Listen, I know a friend of mine, he walked into Harrods and came out with an RM when they were an unknown entity.
Yeah.
He literally walked in and got one for 49k, the early models, and it's worth a couple of 100k now.
Yeah.
So you could say an
but
RM.
that is saying something, because that's like saying I walked into Harrods and I bought an unknown model called RM and I spent 50 grand. That's still 50,000. It's not like I went to Harrods, bought a watch for 2 grand. It's now worth 200.
Yeah, yeah.
Even if it was unknown, at 50 grand, it's selling it in Harrods. It's probably got a little bit of something.
Well, they sell a lot of brands in Harrods that you'd probably get,
elsewhere.
Your arse wiped out. Because
but I would say, with the benefit of hindsight, Colette, it would have to be a Richard Mille, because there are plenty of watches that have. Well, it's just like
what they've
we
become.
can just pick the biggest winner now, can't we? Just go, there we go.
Just glory hunting. It's like being a Man City supporter.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Let's have a look at the next question. If you could design a watch, where would you start?
I would start with the dial.
Yep.
Because I'm a real dial man. And I think the first thing that draws me into a watch is the dial.
Well, what would you put on it? What is it? Is it colours? Is it chrono? Is it what? Where would you? Have you ever thought about it?
I have. There's something in the pipe work that is coming, so I don't want to say too much. Yeah.
Okay. I won't tick that box then. Okay.
Yeah. I want to say too much, and I'll give it away, won't I? Because
it's not the green, is it?
No.
Okay. Let's. Shall I ask myself that question?
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Dial. It's all about colours and dials. Do you think there'll be any surprise releases to come yet, as maybe a 70th anniversary sub? Well, there was this whole question mark, wasn't there, over the green on the Submariner?
Yeah.
On the Starbucks.
Yeah. Can you imagine though? Because they've done it with the Daytona. Do you think the Rolex Submariner is a special enough piece for them to do a clear case back?
Well, they've only done one.
They've done it on the Daytona.
Yeah. Do I see them doing it on a sub?
Yeah.
Not sure I do.
For the 70th.
Yeah, not sure I do.
Not if it's maybe the platinum.
Yeah. Next up, what is the average percentage watch for watch consignment commission?
I have not got a clue, because I'm not a watch dealer.
Nor have I, but I'm going to guess and say every time I hear them talking, I think it's around between 15 and 20%, something like that, depending on maybe the watch the terms and the rest. And that's an absolute stab in the dark.
So, just remind Spencer, if he gets any RMs, I'll do the consignment for that one.
You will, won't you?
For 15, 20, I'll do it tell him, 12% flat fee mates rates.
What's the next watch for you?
Oh, you know what? I can't really think of any. It's going to sound like a politician's answer, but I'm trying not to think. I'm handling so many watches at the moment. I just don't know, is the honest answer. I just don't know. It's that bad at the moment. I just find myself, my head being turned left and right. It's like being at a candy shop.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
But out of all is that with the brands that you're working with? Or I'm talking specifically maybe sort of, the boutiques.
Okay. You know what?
The Rolexes and the Pateks.
It's an Omega. It's the new World Time, the green dial. I think I'm going to pull the trigger on that. I've already put my name in Watford to get that.
It is a beautiful. I'm
just going to, because I haven't got a green watch, sort of a luxury watch, which is a green watch. That dial for me, and I just think it's a great piece. It's a bit chunky though.
Yeah.
The only disappointing thing is it's a bit chunky, but I'm going to go for that, I think.
Yeah.
The new Omega World Time in green.
Okay. To anybody who hasn't already signed up for the BQ Watch Show and you think it's all too late, it's really simple. You just need to go to bqwatches.com, hit the events tab. You hit the events tab
actually,
again.
I'll correct you. It's www.bqevents.co.uk.
There you go.
That's www.bqevents.co.uk.
Which will bring you up to this website, which is on the screen just between us. And then, James, if you've just popped that up there on the middle screen. And
40 brands on the day.
Yep.
There will be anyone's going to be there. It's manic. It's going to be very busy on Saturday. So guys, don't be afraid to come on the Sunday. It's going to be a little bit more of a relaxed environment. But if you want to be in the heart of action, come on the Saturday and the Sunday.
Well, I think a lot of people are coming down for the weekend, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
I don't fancy being in any of the pubs in Radlett on Saturday night.
Well, the Red Lion, I tried to explain to them that we've got a crowd coming down, but maybe not so much your normal crowd.
Yeah, no, it's going to be good. Looking forward to seeing everybody over the coming weekend.
Yeah.
Excited to see you. Haven't seen everybody for ages because I couldn't make Newcastle because I was in Geneva. So looking forward to seeing you. Dee, it's been great to have you with us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much at the last minute for jumping in and
no worries. I always got time for you
me.
guys, and this is probably like the last push, isn't it, before the show? And now it's just literally getting everything together.
Yeah. Just to say, really appreciate all the hard work you've put in on the show. I know it's all going to pay off, and it's going to be a very, very successful weekend.
It will be.
Next week, on Monday, we will give you a full breakdown of what went on. Hopefully, we'll have lots of film to show you for the people that didn't couldn't make it to the show. And yeah, it's super excited just to see everyone.
One of many as well. Like the guys that can't make it this time, don't worry. We have a few other, shows lined up in potentially September, but one definitely in December. And we're going to have a variety of brands. It's going to be interesting, for sure.
Fantastic. Guys, if you haven't done so already, please do hit that subscribe and the notification button. It does help us. And do leave us a comment below after the show. Just let us know what you thought of it, if it was good or bad. Happy to hear from everybody. And don't forget, if you haven't dealt with us yet, it's only a matter of time. See you next week.